Hey, it's I Allegedly. Welcome back. I am Dan, and I've got a good one for you today because Mark Cuban, that Mark Cuban, wants to ruin your life. Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, please. Today we have a sponsor, Delete Me, and I will talk about them in a bit. But let's get right into it, guys. Mark Cuban just helped do a Series B round of financing, which is the second round of financing for a company called Yendo. Y-E-N-D-O. Why is this a big deal? What they do is they let you borrow against your car. Isn't that cool? What a cool idea. Well, honey, we have a couple cars. Let's go get some loans against these cars. Now, even if you have bad credit, even if you have a low FICO score, you may not even be employed right now, but you can go to Yendo and you can use that car as leverage, whether you own it or not, and we will let you know how much you can borrow. Sounds like a great idea, doesn't it? Only problem with it, it's 30% interest rate. Dun, 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 30%, guys. Now, it's insane, okay? There is a term that's been used for years called auto pawn. This is auto pawn in disguise. But what we give you is we give you a credit card, Dan, and you get to go out and I know you're vulnerable. I know you're having a tough time right now, but we're going to give you a credit card that you're going to be able to use as like a debit card. You can buy things with it. You can go buy food with it and borrow against your car. Isn't that's an amazing idea, guys? It's an amazing idea. You can go to the ATM at the local 7-Eleven and you can borrow against it. You're going to pay a 3% penalty for that, but you can go do that. You can go get cash. Take a girl out on the weekend. Borrow against your car. It'll be awesome. She won't even know you're doing it because you get to drive your car still. Now, this is insane, guys. This is the worst upon worst thing that people can do. And, well, gee, Dan, come on. Sometimes people are just having a difficult time. I've done this, okay? Going through my divorce, needing money, paying those horrible lawyers that deserve, their spot in hell, trying to work through that. I had a car, nice car, paid off too. Isn't that nice? Well, you know what you do, Dan? You just call them up and see what they'll lend you against it. Okay, simple enough. Literally did it. Hey, we can mail you the checks, or come up here. If you come to our office in Los Angeles, we'll cut you the check and you can sign the paperwork and there won't be any delay. Sure, I did that. Okay, how long do you want to spread the payments out for? We can do it as much as 48 months. Yeah, let's do it 40 months. Now I can pay this off as early as I'd like. Yeah, but here's the interest rate, which was high. It wasn't 30%, but it was high. And I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. I will never forget. I made the first payment, no big deal. Didn't think anything about it. The second payment, I will never forget, was due on a Friday. Okay? And I had a long week that week, long day. I thought, I'm not going to pay this thing. I'll just pay it on Monday. Go into the office and I'll pay it then. Saturday morning, about 10 after 7 in the morning, I get a phone call from a very gruff voice. A man saying, hey, Dan, we're looking for the BMW. What? Yeah, we're coming to collect it. You've missed your payments. Missed my payments? I was due yesterday. Yeah, what do you think this is? And the guy was not, it wasn't. I can't even say what the guy said. If you're on the private channel, I could use that language. But what do you think this is? And he used a bad 4-letter word. And I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, listen, the car will be in our possession by lunchtime. So I had to get dressed. I had to get the car out of there because I believed that they were looking for it. And they were looking for it after being 1 day late. So Yendo, doesn't Yendo sound amazing, guys? Now, needless to say, this company was insane. And I paid them on Monday like I thought I was going to. And it took the heat off. But man, oh man, oh man, never was I ever late 1 day again. And I was talking to a bankruptcy attorney in general about 3 months later, having lunch. And I was telling him that story. And he said, what's the name of the company? And I told him. And he said, wow, want to hear a story? They have license plate readers. And they go to all the bankruptcy attorneys. And they scan the parking lots and see if any of their clients are behind. I had a client have their car repossessed from my parking lot when they were consulting me for their bankruptcy. So they literally were like, should we hire him or not? They come out and the car's gone. because the car was repossessed from that finance company. So isn't this insane, guys? Now, what this does, guys, is it goes to the most vulnerable people in the economy. It is horrible. You know, the risk of repossession is high, like I just explained to you, because I am telling you, people will take cars that are paid off and they will finance them and think, no big deal. They got all this equity in my car. What about the other people that borrow against a car? Let's say that you buy a car, we're just going to use round figures, $30,000. You put $5,000 down and you think, I got $5,000 worth of equity. I'll go borrow from Yendo. You go out and borrow this money, okay? And then the car goes down in value like they all do. Like they all do. You guys saw that ridiculous story in the last video about the Tesla that got totaled. I mean, I've had so many people write me. Friends of theirs that got in a little fender bender and the battery gets dinged. And that car's totaled. Can't replace it. Yeah, and you want to replace the battery, it's $28,000. Just insane. Now, think about this, guys. Loan on top of loan on top of loan. Okay? Now, to give you an idea, your credit cards are generally 20%. Payday loans are a den of thieves, guys. They're 25%. Yendo, Auto Pawn, 30%. Is that just nuts, guys? I mean, come on. Where do you draw the line and say, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to borrow. I am in trouble. I am drinking too much. I am doing things that are bad for me and I'm borrowing too much. You might as well admit you have a problem. Okay? Geez, just say no. I am a degenerate gambler. You know what I mean? Just don't bet on the Broncos this week because they're going to lose. You know what I mean? This, goes after the financially vulnerable, people with low FICO scores. And again, we're living in a world where it's not, hey, let's do financial education. If Mark Cuban stepped forward and said, and understand, I love Mark Cuban. I want Mark Cuban to use this $50 billion and buy the Angels so that we can get a winning team again. That's what I want to see Mark Cuban do because he knows how to run a sports franchise. Come do that. You want to teach people financial education? Do that. Don't do this because this is horrible. This is complete BS. And it's going to get people up. They're going to be walking. You're going to walk to work someday or have to get a ride from a friend or a coworker. So, and again, the legitimacy of Mark Cuban, there's other big name banks and other finance companies that are involved in this. And isn't this great, Dan? It's just going to help people. No, it's not. It's going to ruin their lives. So there's more to cover on this. Let's talk about our sponsor, Delete Me. One thing that we're all vulnerable to is our personal data being sold. And there are companies called data brokers. And what they do is they collect everything about us, our name, our address, our email, our phone numbers, pictures of us, our home's value, our jobs, all this pertinent information. There is a fantastic service called Delete Me that I've used for a year now. And it eliminates so much personal information off the internet. And if you sign up using the discount code IAllegedly, you'll save 20% off the service. Once you sign up, in about a week, they start to send out these reports that show you everything that they're working on, that they're getting rid of. And I'm telling you guys, I get less spam phone calls. I get less spam emails. I get so much, peace of mind because my personal information has been removed from the internet. Contact Delete Me today. If you don't want to use the link below, use this QR code. Take a picture of it with your cell phone, hold it up to it, take a picture, and you can get the 20% discount. But I'm telling you guys, you need to have this information taken off the internet. Delete Me is a great service. Sign up for it today and let them know that Dan from IAllegedly sent you. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you have to do things that you would generally not do. But I am telling you this, you never want to borrow money to put a fire out, especially if it's for business, because trouble is coming, guys. Trouble is going to continue to come. You're going to have problems that are only going to get exacerbated by problems with the economy, global instability, interest rates that are not going to go down fast enough, the banks cutting credit lines, your customers that won't be able to afford to pay you. The list goes on, guys. I've been there. I've seen it. And the place that you want to be is not owing anybody a dime. That's where you want to be. But to borrow money on top of money is insanity. It is not a recipe. And the thing about this is that I have a friend that owns a company that does the advances on your Visa and MasterCard. And I'm like, how are you guys doing now that business is slowing down? We're doing great. We're killing it. That was 2 years ago. You know what you're seeing right now? People's business credit card sales are declining. So this company sales are declining. But you know what the problem is? They take as much as 30% of a swipe of the credit card off the top of your sales. So let's say you sell something for $1,000. You know what your profit margin is. They take up to 30% to pay that loan back. Okay, the bank gets theirs. The bank gets theirs, so they're going to come seize all your stuff inside inventory and everything else that they want. People don't want to accept that there's a problem. You need to cut back, cut expenses, and not borrow yourself out of debt. You can't do it. Something my grandfather used to always say, and it's true, but this is a double debt trap. That's what this is. Okay? You know, the debt model, car value, existing loan value, available at equity, and then the Yendo loan. Okay? I mean, come on, guys. You know, people are going to sit there. I mean, there are people that are going to watch this video and go, I could handle that, Dan. Dan's an idiot. Have you met Dan? Dan's not that smart. I wouldn't have this economic problem Dan's talking about. I'll pay it off soon. Life gets in the way, guys. And again, people that are tapped, people that are strapped, people that have, they're not looking at a conventional, loan. You are not a good credit risk right now, the people that are borrowing this stuff. But what happens is that this is the last ditch effort. This is going to ruin people and put them out of business. So, and they're going to have maxed out credit, your home equity is tapped out, you're doing buy now, pay later. Why not just get one more payment? There's a thing called credit bust out where people go out and it's basically illegal. Okay. And what it is you go out and you borrow against all your credit cards and you just go bankrupt. Hey, woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, see you in court. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any money. Have a nice day. Only problem is now they're going back and because of AI and because of all the great computers now, they can basically determine when you made your last payment, when you how often you use that credit card, and it's crazy. People are getting arrested for this now. But now the thing about this, they don't care. They'll just take your car. Bye. Okay? And like that bankruptcy attorney said, they showed up, and he felt terrible. These people were consulting him, and it's between you and another guy. If we should go, who's going to take care of our bankruptcy? And that lender just came by and scans the parking lot. So get ready. Now, the next thing that I absolutely love that is having difficulty right now, 2 years ago, I went out and started to show you that fake meat, the Beyond Meat, and how they had it at KFC. They had it at all these different places, and it was horrible. It tasted terrible. I will never forget the fake beef jerky that I suffered through one day on this channel. And it was so bad, Rosie would not eat it. My dog would not eat the fake beef jerky. Okay? Rosie would eat anything. Rosie, if you took newspaper and you took a bite out of it, she would be, got to have some of that newspaper. She would eat that. Okay? And, I had a sandwich last night wrapped in a paper towel and left the paper towel down, and she ate half the paper towel. Okay? So, yeah. Rosie hated the Beyond Meat, fake beef jerky. Well, the problem with it is Beyond Meat is struggling financially. Nobody wants to buy the fake meat right now, which is beautiful, because next to the fake meat was bugs. You're going to start eating bugs. No, pass. What I hope happens is that our ranchers that have suffered through the last 5 years of shenanigans are going to go out and they're going to be able to start raising cattle, pigs, whatever they want. Okay, whatever you want to eat, lamb, whatever. Okay. Oh my God, that's terrible. Well, Beyond Meat's net revenues were $75 million, and they're down 20% year over year. The sales declined 18%. Okay, this year already. Okay, the company is guiding lower and lower and lower going forward. So what they did was they took all their debt and they converted bonds to different debt. This will solve everything. No, guys, this is the beginning before they go bankrupt, before they throw in the towel, and before all the investors realize that you've bet the wrong thing, that people don't want this stuff. Hey, it cooks just like meat. It looks just like meat. Does this look like meat to you? Does that look like meat? You know, we've made all these jokes about this stuff and how it just looks disgusting. And I pass. I've tried it. I've cooked it. And honest to God, I don't know what it is. Just knowing what it is, it's horrible. It's one thing to eat, you know, the fake burgers, the veggie burgers and stuff. Those are great. You know, you're eating beans, and you know you're eating shenanigans that they want it to look like beef. You know, I mean, the sales have declined $103 million. You know, and again, they're off 130 from 132 million last year. Oh my God. You know, so operating margins are deeply negative, meaning they don't make any money, and the free cash flow is negative. Fixed costs are high, R&D is high. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to work on more things inside our restaurants. Name a restaurant that has those promotions anymore with the Beyond Burgers or any of the Shenanigan Burgers or anything like that. I had a guy write me and says every time I say shenanigans, he drinks a beer. I said, we'll have to do a lot of shenanigans for you on the weekend this weekend. So maybe we'll do mom yoga and shenanigans is what it'll be this weekend. But anyways, I digress. But I'm really enjoying this because the Beyond Meat, I mean, all these people that just said, oh, it's going to change everything, and you don't understand. And I had a woman that worked for one of these companies, wouldn't tell me which one, which I thought was funny. And she does sales promotions inside the grocery stores, and how it was great at first because it was new and they wanted to see it. And then once something doesn't sell or people are unhappy with it, then they tell their local manager, store manager, and they go, you know what, nah, you know what, I'm not going to put you, we're going to take you from this level and put you down here. Oh, okay, I can't be on that third shelf that's eye level with everybody. No, pass. Okay, you know. So the stock has collapsed. The share price has crashed to under $1 for this company, and it's running the risk of being delisted on NASDAQ. Now, why do I get pleasure from this? Because I am telling you that I had hate mail from people. This is going to change everything. Meat eater, you know. Okay, I mean, militant psychos wrote me. Okay, good luck. You guys didn't buy enough of it to make it work. Did you ever figure that out? No. Okay, so anyways, there's an overcrowded market too. Health concerns and ultra processed foods are not popular right now. Well, wait a second, I thought this stuff was going to be, it's healthy, it's going to be all to end all. Okay, you know, there's a premium price tax on this stuff. What does that mean? You know, it's expensive because it costs a lot to make this garbage that nobody wants. Anyways, I'm getting a little sidetracked. So what do you guys think? You know, starting to see things. Now, silver, guys, don't want you to understand this. Great headline. There's going to be a silver supply crisis. Silver, $54 an ounce right now. You're going to see a silver supply crisis where you're going to see silver demand go through the roof. You could easily see silver. Experts are saying, read the article below, where it could easily go over $100 a share. I'm telling you guys, buy as much as you can. Protect yourself. Silver is in demand. I hold my silver. I've had silver since I was a child, and I love it. And I can't remember the last time I sold it. So, you know, Walmart and ChatGPT are going to partner. And they're going to partner so that you're going to be able to buy things through ChatGPT. You're going to be able to search for things and say, gosh, there's a fake meat product that's financially distressed, and I'd like to try one of those fake burgers. Oh, why don't you try Beyond Meat? They have it at Walmart. And you're going to be able to buy it through ChatGPT while the company is still open. You know what I mean? So ChatGPT is going to make it so you're going to be able to purchase things through it now, which will revolutionize everything. There are people that tell me they don't use search engines anymore. They just go to AI. And man, oh man, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff we're doing with AI. And a couple things just to end this. You're going to see more and more commercial drivers licenses audited in the next few months. So you're going to start auditing all these commercial truck drivers for our safety. And again, I think that's an amazing idea. I think it just sounds great, you know. So let me know, you know. Final thing, and I'll leave you with this one. There's a lot of car problems right now. Ford's got problems. GM's cutting back. And I'm going to get into all this stuff later on in the week. But the real problem is these lithium fires that they're having with these cars. I mean, when these things burn, man, it is disco inferno, man. It is. I mean, these car fires are nuts. They just do not, you cannot put them out easily, and they go on and on and on. And again, I did a story about my friend's car who got this dent, and the car is totaled from that little side swipe, okay? And all these people have talked about battery problems, their friend, their neighbor, coworker that had a $28,000 bill, and just nuts with this right now. But you're seeing more and more of these problems that are not available. I'm going to close with this. Don't forget to sign up for our email list. The link is below. We have the private channel, I Allegedly Live, which I love doing. Content for that is absolutely amazing. You want to email me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. And I will see you guys very soon, okay? Make really good choices. Shenanigans, okay? End it with one more beer, okay? I'll see you soon. Shenanigans. Goodbye.